This video is going to be on the differences between a creator, a god, controllers, low-level controllers, and slaves. And there's probably some positions I'm leaving out, unless I'm the smartest one in the room, and I've thought as far ahead as they could. That'd be dangerous to create someone smarter than them. It's what you guys are doing with robots, isn't it? You guys are creating things that are far advanced than you. And you don't, like, the humans seem unintelligent enough to understand the consequences of such actions. But if you have a creator, he creates something, he would design a program. Maybe he would, create a new piece of gym equipment. Maybe he would create whatever he wants. Create a world. Who knows? Create a universe. And then, why would, a creator want to have to create, maintain his creation? So you would appoint a ruler, like a manager or something. Maybe this is where the God position can come in. And so, you hire your manager and you sit back and your creation runs itself. Basically, because you aren't doing it anymore. If it needs run, maybe you can create without such a controller in need. But you would definitely probably want to put, if a computer's smart, which they seem to be so smart they have to limit them, and that means they're smarter than people at this point. It would notice that there's errors and stuff in the system, right? And it would be a creator would know, okay, unless he just doesn't understand technology, he'd be like, yeah, there's probably going to be errors in the system, so we put a check in play. We put a manager in play, right? Fucking sure. Could a business run itself without a manager? Probably, but do you think so? Gotta put someone in charge, make sure they understand things. And then you have the controllers, the visible levers of control, which is all you can see. This is I started up at the top and I worked my way down. The real pyramid, not the false controller design pyramid, because let's not act like that pyramid is the end-all pyramid, because you have to ask yourself how they got their positions and stuff. And then you can't necessarily believe your controller. Like the burger flipper, you don't have to trust what the burger flipper says. The burger flipper could be doing a whole bunch of shady shit to your burgers. And the manager's probably not going to like that. But that's kind of too bad. The burger flipper's going to cook the burger how he wants it. And there'll be people fighting for these positions. And below that, you have a lesser controller type person, like janitor maybe, cleaning up the shit. And then you have the participants or something like that. The slaves, I like to call them, because it's a slave planet. You can tell by the design that they're one of the levels. of power has invented slavery and labor and hidden the secrets of what's really going on from people. So they're a slave class. Like in this specific, there's like a slave class. It's hard to say who the actual slave class is because they tell you who the slave class is, but they never tell you the truth of anything. So, and then I'm not sure how many people really do the slave thing. I like some of these people are questionable people who have told me these stories and stuff. So, you don't believe the words of a questionable person. So, I hear stories, but unless I'm involved in them, I don't see them. So, I mean, that's kind of the bottom line there. But sometimes people's stories don't line up. And like one of the slave arguments I hear from the so-called working class is the the argument I make, I guess, is you don't seem to understand work. Like, you sure you do a lot of that stuff? Many don't seem to value like what work is, work ethic or work scheduling. So I like semi question that stuff. Maybe I just come from a different family and they just work too part of it, just work too much or something. I don't know. But you have these different classes, whatever's going on here, and you have arguments over what exists and what doesn't. So I'm laying out the layers of possibility, whereas I'm just not saying there is something there. I'm saying just look at the system around you. Can you even do that? I question that. Are the Gentiles robots? Is everyone a robot? But the first propaganda I was shown showed them basically you could categorize them as like golem or spirits, like demons and shit like that. These are the people who tell everyone else what to think, so it's not far off for me to think that they're being honest in one thing they say. Especially when they're like hiding it in other honest things that other people can't see or whatever the excuse is. I guess I understand it takes a little bit of education, and maybe I was really intelligent. I don't buy into that fucking story. I don't buy into the fucking genius story very well, because this other consciousness that controls people, I don't even fucking know how to possess people like that. So I have no fucking idea, what level of fucking intelligence those beings have. So I'm like, I kind of look at that as a joke, where people just fucking making fun of me or something. Like, I'll sit to the side here, read books while the other kids fucking learn how to fucking say their ABCs and shit. I guess that's kind of dumb. I just kind of answered my own shit. Yeah, maybe. But is it a game? Is it a game? No, I'm being derailed by this game. Is it a game? Because it's a game on so many levels. It's like a game that feels like it's being played upon me, like my whole life too. So I could be like, maybe I deserved everything that happened in my fucking life. And it's like, no, like, I didn't ask to be in this system that I know of. Maybe there's some papers somewhere that they're scared to show me because it, like, leaks information or something. Whatever. But maybe other people experience this stuff too. I mean, I understand, like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm so fucking, advanced. Blah, blah, fucking blah. I don't even buy that shit. There are people out here who know shit that I do not know. And it doesn't mean fucking I'm smarter than them. Okay? Fucking... because there's people who are more than just at the point where I'm at, like fucking thousands of years old or whatever, asking like, what is this power structure I see before me? And what is it doing? It looks like it's killing all the humans off and enslaving them and fucking just, I don't know. I don't even begin to fucking understand it, because when I see it, like, I've been talking about this shit forever, but when you see it, when you see them make people wear masks to fucking suffocate them and shit, when you fucking see that type of shit, when you see them, when you feel them fucking attacking you with chemical weapons and shit, when you see the death squads up close, and when you get to experience why I call them death squads, fucking... It's different than, like, watching RoboCop. It's different than fucking... reading an Alex Jones article on what the New World Order is going to do. It's a different thing. When you go fucking meet Antifa face to face, you didn't realize Antifa is something else. Fucking Antifa knows you in the next fucking town. Antifa knows you in the next town. After that, they know you even more at that time. Some of these people, I think they're acting like they don't know you even. Like, fucking, maybe it's the other consciousness in this world, period. Like, just possessing everyone. Fucking... It's always felt like some sort of game. It's always felt like a game that's being played upon me, even. But it never bothered me, because I didn't try to play it back. It's just like, fuck. I don't even like your game. It's not fun. Like, fuck it. So they have punishment for people who break the rules to the game. And they have fucking... like shit's staged. Like, I went around to media events and it was staged. There was a lot of misconceptions and alterations done during the huge media event with huge TV superstar Roger Stone fucking supposed to be there, and other superstars like Milo Yiannopoulos and many more on Milo's level. And all the media was there. It was all there, including the alt-right, Alex Jones, and I guess not quite the same, since he took over the alt-right and shifted it to the alt-right. More, that was Andrew Anglin who gets credit for that. Who for a long time exposed Alex Jones, and then went back to liking him. I always was like, hey, he was a born plant. He was designed from the start to deceive people. But a lot of times they take shit over. But then again, I think that's part of the deception, is to make it look like they took something over. Like, they weren't always in control. They had to take it over first. They didn't have this ultimate power in this fucking world. They just take it over when they're tired of hearing you talk about it. Is that the truth? Because when I speak with the humans, with the Gentiles, I see, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not sure if they're doing mind control on people. And then sometimes, like, they're just not in proximity or focusing on mind controlling those people. Or if they're just, like, a little bit different. Or if they're exactly the same. Because it's hard to tell because they're patterns. They're easy recognizable patterns. Enough to understand that these are patterns. Can the media completely control people to act one way or the other? Is it really the media? I don't watch the media. I talk to you guys. Fucking everyone else tells me what's on the media these days. But there's these possible levers of control, positions of control in this world. And people act like they don't know what's going on in the world sometimes. In a rare situation these days, especially 2020, it's kind of rare. The possessing and shit, or whatever that is. Hive mind. Do the humans have a hive mind? Do the Gentiles have a hive mind? Then we get into, Luke Kardowski talking about radio waves again. And you have, like, the cell towers need updated. They were, like, upgraded, and at the same time the humans and the governments all started acting differently. Everyone's doing all sorts of crazy shit now. It happened so quick. Like, I was already watching these patterns, so I could see what's going on. I could see huge shifts. Like, the humans have a hive mind, or they have like some sort of hardware update that just happened overnight. And I try to teach people. I try to teach the Gentiles, and they seem, I don't know if I'm teaching others, so I'm going to exclude them. They seem just like they're not that great at learning. Let's look at the school grades, like math and stuff. Like, no one did good in math. How come people could take 18 years of math and not learn it? But overnight, like, hundreds of millions of people can shift to a new train of thought. No one knows math, but everyone can learn that, Trump's either orange, or, half the people are going to learn Trump is orange, and the other half is going to learn that Trump is for the silent majority. Fucking overnight. And it's every event. It's not just something as big as the president of the empire of the world. It's like every new weekly talking point and shit. And everyone has the same opinion on it too, pretty much. There's like 5-6 different opinions you can have on each side. And it's like non-reroutable. Like, at first I viewed it as maybe like it's just not working, or maybe it takes time. There's different ways you could view it, but it just kind of seems like non-reroutable to a large extent. Like, if you pull it one direction too far, it just reprograms itself overnight somehow, or something happens overnight. And it's really been as fast as overnight. Like, I narrowed it down from like guessing, it'd be like a week, and then I'd be like 3-5 days. No, it's a week. Maybe it's 7 days. Maybe it's, 2 days. And then I was noticing, it's like, no, the majority of the change takes place day one. I noticed that once on a Donald or David Icke video. Like, everyone, libertarians switched to like alt-right. I wouldn't want to call them libertarians. I mean, David Icke was like liberal shit. And that was like liberal viewers, and pretty much, I thought. Like overnight, they're like alt-right or something. They're talking about stop the, protect the borders and all this shit. It's like, how do they do that? How do they like change people's minds so fast, and why? Why don't they do that with like math? Like, they can tell you like math right away, and then you just learn it overnight. You learn it all overnight. You learn one problem each fucking night or some shit. But they do that with the dumb shit, and it like reprograms everyone. How does this reprogram mean happening? How does this one consciousness thing work too? How does that work? That doesn't seem to work too well in my favor when everyone seems to be able to speak to me about shit I don't know. And it's like, damn, like, you've been watching me when I was naked. Like, first of all, that's like either really sick or fucking, like, what the fuck? Why didn't, like, if it's a hot chick, like, why didn't you just come get fucking naked with me? Fucking instead of watching me. You lost out big time on that, didn't you? Fucking. So when that voice speaks to me and shit through people and answers my questions and all that shit, like, what is it? What's going on? Are these, like, am I in some sort of play world where the Gentiles are just like robots or something for us or something like that? Like, are we scared that talking about this might wake the robots up and educate them? I mean, why keep them stupid? When they act stupid, it's no fun. They're not fun to talk to or anything. They don't do fucking interesting shit usually. It's like, what's the point of them? Like, if you can create something this advanced, then you can probably just maintain it on your own. Fucking. But like, what are these levers of control? What are these control systems, and who are in these positions of control in this world? And why does it exist the way it does? Why does it happen the way it does? It's not like, I don't know, it almost seems like sometimes, like, I mean, there's several ways you could exit out of it, but it almost seems like it's built as like a fun game, and like, that's like, the highest achievement in the game is like fucking, finding the bad control levers and removing them. Like any video game you play, like, that's the point of it. You're like going against the fucking bad guy who at the very end, like, you had to work your whole fucking life to get to be able to defeat or locate or whatever. But it'd be like interesting to know, these power levers too, because really you don't have to be held in contempt or control of any law or anything if there's like a game being played above you and you don't know the rules to it. Like, the rules, if the rules aren't what they say the rules are, if they have different rules and shit, then you have been in the dark your whole life, and everything has been like played upon you. I believe this world's being altered around us in many circumstances. Shit appears for me. I made a video and I was showing you guys some Rothschild shit they sell me. Do you understand what I'm saying? That happens all the time. Fucking, some matzo balls end up there. Not matzo balls, but like some Manschwesh cookies and some hummus or something like that. Fucking, and some Rothschild shit makes me go educate myself on the Rothschild more. It's like, oh, they're in my locale. Like, I told you guys, this place is like a real center. Like, I've not been to New York, I've not been to Israel, but like, I don't know if there is any white people in this city for the most part. Maybe the South Enders are white, or I don't know about that. It's hard to tell with like malnourished people who are what they are, because they're just like malnourished and they don't have their natural fat deposit locations and shit like that. And other shit probably changes it around as well. But like, what are these power levels? What's going on in this world? Like, does anyone like stop and ask them? Am I the only person who like really like I can't even move forward in this world, like mentally? Like, I've never been able to do that because it's just been like I felt like so alone and isolated, and it's probably got a lot to do with some of this shit. Like, no one's ever told me what's going on, and it's not like a positive thing. It's not like we're here to, like, you know, let you have fun and hopefully everyone else has fun too, or some shit like that. It's like, maybe it is for some people, but like for me, it's not like they don't really, you know, give me what I desire and shit. I can have stupid cool looking glasses and cool looking ring and fucking, but only like a few times I get offered like the females I guess I would like, and I understand it. They're in control of the people to some point, so they're directing them. And I see shit in the media like they put out that tiger hunter dude, and it's like, dude, like I'm wearing like tiger pants and fucking got tiger tail behind me. It's like trying to fucking tell society that that's like gay. And then in the 80s, like that was just like metal as fuck. And it's like, what's gay about tigers, dude? Fucking, like, a tiger is like, you know, close to the king of the jungle, and he's gonna like destroy everything. Like, who knows? I mean, gay males fucking act more like men than most males. Fuck, maybe it does mean something. But in the 80s, you know, metalheads, you know, wore that shit all the time. No one ever thought David Lee Roth was gay, and he looked ultra gay. He looked like Richard Simmons and shit. The Richard Simmons of speed metal. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, man, no one ever fucking was like, oh, that's, he's obviously gay with, like, fucking, no, like, it doesn't matter, like, but they put out that propaganda like that. They do a lot of shit. They alter devices and shit. They'll alter what you're allowed to be seen, and it'll involve some of that shit I just talked about, I believe. And I believe when they do the mind control on the humans, it has, or whatever it is, the complete control of the humans. They like direct them or impede you and stuff, I believe. I'm very keen on some of this shit. And like, I pick up on vibes, and they try to like, they'll have all this propaganda to make you feel bad for who you are and how they make you feel and shit. And be like, oh, you're evil. You should be ashamed that you fucking haven't accepted our Lord and Savior Jesus. Like, bitch, I am Jesus. What the fuck are you talking about? Fucking, like, first of all, motherfuckers like that, all up in your face, causing problems, are not good people. I don't care if you're a Christian or not. You definitely make it look like no one wants to be around Christianity because no one's going to want to be around you. Get it? But people will act in all sorts of ways, and they're being mind controlled to a large extent to do this. And it's like, I have to like kind of forgive them for how they act. Like, look at these protests. I go out here and get jacked, and it's like I fully understand that these people are just under fucking mind control to some extent. Maybe not some of the ones jacking me, because maybe some of these are the above the slave level class. Maybe some of these are the controllers. Maybe. I don't know about that. I think I know I have proof to that with a Mossad agent looking guy pushing me around. There's definitely something to these positions of power I just named. Even if you don't want to believe in like a creator or a manager that's put in charge of the system, you can see like the rest. You can feel the controller class, but you can see them as well. It's not too hard. Well, it used to be you could with some education, but they've like really censored the net and shit. That's why I've told everyone for like 10 years you have to start backing up the internet because they're going to erase it. Probably no one listened to that. I mean, no one even understands technology, so how are they going to know what a backup is and how to create redundant backups and how to create safe backups? And it's like, I'm not saying you're like an idiot. I mean, but they definitely program people with idiot shit. But they're acting all knowing at the same time, in between the I don't know speeches. But the devices are all fucking fucked up anyways, so it's kind of hard to probably do that stuff. It's probably a lot harder than it used to be. I used to use older software, so I didn't really notice till recently that shit was even more locked down and weirded out than before. But these power levers and control positions have a lot to do with everything. They have everything to do with everything. And it's not so much as one person's actions or their reaction is their own, even if they're given bits of free will here and there. It's being altered here and there to cut out certain parameters, stuff like that. There's some sort of flow going on where you can feel stuff like that eventually. And again, I think I don't know if I uploaded the video talking about that, but I think like they have positions, they have levers in place for people who start to see this system. I don't see why they wouldn't. They have a change to this system. They'll start to batten down the hatches and stuff like that and prepare for war, I think. And it's quite possible that's what we're seeing in 2020. We are experiencing groups who are in control, who are about to lose control, and they know they are, but they're not just going to roll over, right? But again, it comes back to, who's in which positions really. And everyone can say they're in one position. Like, everyone can pretty much say they're in the slave class position. Donald Trump could say that. Rothschild could say that. Anyone can say whatever, but who really is telling the truth about what's going on and what they're doing and who's helped them and who's funded them and pushed them through and stuff? I mean, I told you these people are behind me. I said that over and over. I used to say it like paranoid, stupid like, but But I mean, it was just there in my fucking face, getting slapped in my face constantly. So it's like, with their symbolism and their fucking names and their looks and everything. So like I'm like deeply surrounded by control levers, and it makes me wonder, like, we're told a certain group is like a certain percentage, small percentage of the world, but where I'm at, that group is much more pervasive. They seem to be a lot higher number, and it feels weird and isolated, a lot of stuff they've done recently. Maybe that's just me and my city, but yeah, when I did go to Florida, it didn't feel the same in Miami. It felt a little bit different. But I really don't know. Fucking, I can't use a small sample group as, identifiable proof at the end of the day. But whatever's going on, it looks like there's like not much time left for all of us. Like, I know I had a time limit to help people figure this stuff out, and I've pretty much gotten to the point where I feel like it was a waste and no one's learned anything, and I've probably not been allowed to connect to many people, like, forcibly not allowed, like cut off here and there. Like, I did plenty of shit that would get people banned, crying about a ban and shit. But it feels like there's more than that going on. There's like I'm like an extra special slave. Like, I'm a double time slave. It's like, oh, you want to take a bathroom break, slave? No. Remember, we've got the whip. Fucking. Now, someone once told me you just experience more by doing more. So, not in those words, but that's that. The odd thing is one time at the Boogaloo movement, one of the people I assume are one of the controllers, maybe he admitted to it after he denied it. Maybe he admitted to something completely different. But he began to, like, tell me, no, that's not how you speak with him, pretty much. And I was like attacking him. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here, dude? Stop infiltrating this group. Get the fuck away from it. And like, I wasn't like being friendly at all. Like, this is like really the first time I've went off fucking on one of these people infiltrating the groups and shit. But I mean, it's like, yeah, he kind of admitted to it, and then like, I already knew. And there was like a precursor. Before any of this started, a person showed up, and they just sat there for like a minute or something and left. And I may not have even noticed it, but the person I was with was like, hey, look, they got stood up or something. But I think I already seen them walk in, and seeing them is believing at this point. So, like, I was like, oh, great. Like, at that point in the meeting, I was like, oh, there's an infiltrator here. And the meeting hadn't really even begun yet. But they were like, oh, they probably got stood up, and then they left. And it's like, they were at that table long enough to plant a bug or something, or do some sort of mind control, whatever it is they do. And they left, and then, like, an admitted infiltrator showed up to the Boogaloo movement. And this is like the first meeting, so it was pretty small. It was like 4 of us, and it was like 3 of them. I mean, maybe I shouldn't associate myself with groups, and maybe they don't want to be associated with me. That's fine. I see how that works. I can make an excuse for these things. But like, I was just like, like, you're an infiltrator. Get out of here, dude. We don't need you guys here. And I was like, I was using him to educate them. I was like running him through a line of questioning that made him lie and then tell the truth, lie and then tell the truth. So hell, he was pretty robotic himself, come to think of it. Sometimes I wonder if they're not more robotic. But I made him do that, and then he began to like tell me like I'm going about it wrong, and if I want to educate them, I've got to like tone down and everything. And like, he's right, he's correct. If I want to like educate someone, I got to like put them in a boiling I got to put them in cold water and then slowly raise the heat to boiling. He's right. He knows about those tactics, obviously. But why was he helping me? Why was he explaining to me how to do that shit? And then I pointed that out to the 2 Boogaloo boys in there. I was like, do you notice he's like telling me how to control you guys? Like, do you hear those words? Like, because those was like, for someone who was my enemy about to hit me, like, you're like all of a sudden breaking down how I should control these people's minds to see him. Like, that was the whole point there. I was like trying to get them to see him. Standing there as he said he was from BLM. He said he wasn't who I said he was, and then he said he was. And then I think I led him down another lie to truth question path. And I was just like attacking him at that point, pretty much. Like, what? I should have been like, what are you doing here? Get out of here. I mean, the route I was on, I should have been doing that. I'm not saying I should have been doing that, but it's like I test things differently every time anyway. So that was just a new learning experience, learning how it's all programmed and how everything works in this world. I've probably ditched a lot of chances. I mean, there's no doubt about that, because I couldn't begin to poke at the programming if I didn't offend people. Like, everyone's being asked shit they've never been asked before, or ran down a line of questioning they've never experienced before, never experienced those emotions before, like liberals experiencing love for USA and telling people to get out of America if you don't like it and shit. I understand. But yeah. So I was attacking him, and he was telling me how to control people and shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you sitting here telling me how to control people for? I know how to do that dipshit. I'm just not like you. I'm not trying to manipulate them like that. I'm trying to offer them like free will and shit. Give them the knowledge to decide upon with their own eyes. Sure, it's going to create some risk. No one wants to hear that. Like, I don't remember the person who told me about that shit at all. Don't remember them. It was behind a fake account anyways. But I'm sure I attacked them or something. But it doesn't matter, because I am where I am now. So where does attacking the messenger really lead you? Lead you to being the messenger sometimes, huh? So there's a lot of weird shit going on. There's a lot of control going on. A lot of fabrication in this world. A lot of deception. A lot of illusion. And I think all that stuff's in the way of like a better reality, a better planet, a better existence, a better life form. I think it's some sort of control grid that needs disposed of for a large part. I mean, people would act differently if they weren't under some sort of control system, right? Because from what I see, hiding technology from people and dividing them up and conquering them and shit, would just set them back fucking permanently. Thousands of years, destroying their history every 7 years, thousands of years setbacks. Fucking. The internet is so censored. That's why I've been saving files and telling people to do that for 10 years. Because it's designed to be throwaway. They would continually throw it away. They would continually give you a new Microsoft operating system, and it would like clear out all your old memories, all your old links and shit. And that's good to some extent, but it would disable things. It would make you buy new things, and eventually they would lock things down more. And there's just so much more discussion that could go on right there. Sorry, I was distracted. There's just so much more discussion that could go on right there. Like, I just got a call. Again, how many times during my videos do I say I get a call and fucking, it's always weird. Like, a lot of times something will take my mind off track when I'm like busy trying to do some shit. Especially related to stuff like this, related to exposing these people or whatever. Or related to, at this point, just my life in general. It switched over hardcore from